A stroke saved my father's life.
And thank God we were home when it happened because we weren't supposed to be.
Dead ass.
1, 2, 3.
It all started with real talk, unfiltered, honest, and straight from the heart. Since then, we've gone on to become Webby Award-winning podcasters and New York Times best-selling authors.
Deadass was more than a podcast for us. It was about our growth. A place where we could be vulnerable, be raw.
Pause. But most importantly, be us.
But as we know, life keeps evolving, and so do we. And through it all, one thing has never changed.
This
is Ellis Ever After.
Dead ass.
Because we got a lot to talk about.
Yo, so quick story time. Do we do karaoke first or story time?
Story time.
Oh, story time.
Mm-hmm.
Quick story time. We were actually sitting right here, you and I,
Yes.
doing the podcast.
TY.
And that's Kadine's favorite joke. She's such an old lady, guys. I'm gonna let y'all in on Kadine's joke, and she says it every time. Whenever
Oh my
I say
God.
you and I, she says TY.
That's
TY.
hilarious.
I say, you and I. We could be having the most serious conversation.
I love it.
Oh no, this is on God. We will be having a serious discussion about life-changing things, and I'd be like, Kadeen, you and I, and she'd be like, TY.
That's how I know we family, because that's something I would do consistently.
Such a Kadeen
I
joke.
love it. I
That's
don't care where
hilarious.
we are, what we're doing, what we're talking about. Somebody else could be saying it, you and I, I'd be like, TY. That's you.
Like,
It's like a dad joke.
That's mine. So, now we have karaoke.
It's
Go
like
ahead.
it's like a dad joke.
It is a dad joke.
My father has the same joke he always says, right? If I'm like, man, I'm hungry, he goes, I'm Troy. Nice to meet you.
All the time.
He's been doing this since I was little, though.
In
Like
that
7.
voice. In that
A
voice?
dad joke.
He does. Hey, I'm Troy. Nice to meet you. So now I'm gonna add you to that.
Thanks.
But I'm not gonna say it. Me and you were sitting right here. The entire podcast crew was here, and Dad had come down the stairs, and it was like a heavy, like thump, 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 thump. And I remember we was looking at each other like, who is walking down the stairs? They know we podcasting. So then it was time for him to go back upstairs, and we heard like a thump, and he had stumbled right there. And I remember Josh had said, yo, I think y'all need to go check on Pops. And we was like, why? He was like, yo, that's like the second time he tripped up the stairs. Plus, when he was upstairs in the kitchen, he was going to pick up a cup, and he kept dropping it. And then you and I looked at me and you looked at each other. I'm not doing this though. Me and you looked at each other, and if y'all notice, there is a podcast that's kind of short. The after show was
The
really
after
short.
show was short, yeah.
And we rushed out of here. That day, we go upstairs. Kay is just like, yo, did you take your blood pressure? What's going on? He was like, nah, I really don't feel that well.
I don't feel like myself. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I don't feel like myself.
And for me, that's alarming because my father is always like, I'm good. Yeah. Like he floats through this house effortlessly with no noise. So for him to make any kind of noise going through the house, we're like, that's odd.
Yeah, we've been making that joke for the last 4 years that he'll just pop up behind
Yep.
you.
Behind you, yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
You
He
don't hear
moves.
him coming. Yeah.
Yeah, like a ghost through the house. So
And then, and we'll come back to this, but I remember you taking his blood pressure. Mom was at tennis. You said his blood pressure was a little high.
it was high. I
It was high.
FaceTime my sister because she's like the family nurse on call.
Yeah.
So the minute I told her what was happening, she was like, take him to the ER right now.
Yeah.
And we just dropped everything and took him. And sure enough, when I got there, first of all, I can unpack it more when we come back. But when I got there, sure enough, he did have a stroke. So yeah.
And that stroke ended up saving his life. And when we come back, we'll talk about how it saved his life. Got my lime and ginger shot, turmeric and orange shot. This is what I drink every single day after I work out. Matt be here, he see. And after I'm done, I go to the hyperbaric chamber, get some oxygen.
Then you harass people for food.
Oh yeah, then I harass her for food. But here's the thing though, drinking like this and I also eat good food. Now, this is a little fried chicken. Kay don't fry chicken every day.
I don't.
But she frying it now to
Maybe
put it
like
in the
once
batter.
a month.
It's like once a month.
Yeah.
But check me out. I'm in the best shape of my life, baby. You gotta wash clothes, you said? Mm-hmm. You said you got some clothes in it and you did?
Yeah, I was
I came home on purpose early so that you can, get that done. That's what I did. So you let me know.
I see.
And I'll go in and help you wash the clothes.
I see. I see. right, karaoke time. I'm not inclined to sing Unity by Queen Latifah.
I know.
Because
I think we
of
did sing
story
that.
time.
We did sing that one time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Unity.
Unity. Where's it going? But
The unity.
my kid's favorite song right now, Dakota actually knows the whole dance routine. I don't know if it's something that his school made up or if it's like a TikTok thing or what. But it's a song by Forrest Frank.
Okay.
And it goes like this. Lord, I need you now more than ever. Won't you put my heart back together? I search the world till my head hurts just to find out your ways better. Oh.
That's a dope song.
Your ways better. Oh, it's so good.
And it does give me chills.
Jesus, your ways better. Yeah.
It gives me chills listening to
It's
it.
really good. Yeah.
Shout out to our kids
Yeah.
for introducing us to new things. That's one
a
thing when you
fact.
have children. You
Mhm.
get put on to the latest hip hop, the newest fashions, and what people are talking about. So shout out to our kids,
Yeah.
man. One
Still
of
don't
their things.
understand 6'7". 6'7".
You will never understand.
I'll
it.
never understand the
It's not-
6'7".
It's not meant for us.
I was doing homework with Coda the other day, and we're doing a book on numbers. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4. There was 5, had its own page, and just as I turned the page, 6, 7 was on the same page. I did a video, and the kids fell out. They were like 6, 7, 6, 7. And even Dakota was like 6, 7. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, it's on YouTube. So clearly, I got to get it together. But yeah, the kids are great. Like when we get in the car, they want to grab whoever's phone is connected, and then they'll be like, "I'm gonna play music." So Cairo probably has the most diverse collection. He has a worship playlist. He has his trap music. He has reggae. And then we'll jump around and
he got drill music from Pop Smoke. He Cairo all over the place.
he all over the place.
But he understands. He
Yeah.
understands what to listen to, what not to listen to.
And who to
Musicians
listen to
at
it
heart.
around.
Yeah.
When Mimi in the car, Coda be like, "Can we play Ace Trumpets?" I'm like, "Can't play that in the car with Mimi, bro.
Wrong human, bro.
Well,
I'm going to put on the BIBLE."
Coda don't even call it Ace Trumpets. He
True.
calls it Yellow Diamonds Look Like Pee-Pee. Because the first words to the song is Yellow Diamonds Look Like Pee-Pee. Bitches fly from DC on my private to Waikiki. The fact that my 3-year-old knows these words is kind of crazy, but you know what? He
It's
also knows how
crazy.
to put his heart back again. Hey, man.
Jesus, your way's better. Literally. All right, y'all. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to get back into unpacking story time and telling you more about what happened the day my dad had a stroke.
Got you. Nice hands. Explain something to y'all. I know Jackson's been putting a lot of work into Jackson. Let's get money. Look at that smile on your face. And I know y'all seen Cairo be a savage of a beast in the weight room. Yeah. That's the difference, you see? But of all my kids so far, he got the best feet and the best running mechanics. Go that way, just walk. Now if you go that way, what do I do? And then you get to do what?
That way.
Okay, so now, do that. You go that way and I go this way, what happens? Watch Kaz be a savage. Let's go, get in the car.
All right, y'all, let's jump into our favorite portion of the show, our newest portion, op or no op. So what we got today, Tribble? Let me get my paddle. Everybody got their paddle?
I got mine.
All right.
All right. Since we're talking about medical issues today, I saw an interesting study on Instagram that I thought DeVal would be interested in.
What's this?
And maybe the other men on the show.
Ooh, let's hear.
Study shows.
The men need more sex. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, it said men should ejaculate 21 times a month to avoid risk of cancer. Harvard led a study of 30,000 men over the span of nearly 20 years, and they revealed a correlation between ejaculation and prostate health.
See?
Now,
See?
First of all, you're welcome. All
I
right.
do
Well,
know.
you need to thank me.
That's
You're
what
in the
I'm
clear.
saying. I'm saying you're welcome because I'm here. Because
me?
yes, I'm here for you.
Thank you.
So you doing that for me, but
this
I'm here
is like
for you.
the ultimate display of reciprocity over here.
And we just were talking about those 3 weeks a month that Kadine's hormones are at a level area. So that's your 3 weeks
There
right
we
there.
go, 21 days.
21
Yeah,
days.
you're lined up.
So you prepared to line that up 21 days in a row? Cat.
Yeah, I mean in a row because I have to dip and dabble on my cycle too. So meet and take care of you.
Ain't no way I'm getting sex 21 days in a row. I don't know
Straight?
what world y'all think this
Absolutely not. But we'll hopscotch.
is. I'm just saying
21
that
days is a
if
lot.
you want me to live long, you know
We'll
what I'm saying?
hopscotch.
What was that, man?
I said, I can't even do it again.
You said, ain't no way I'm getting sex 21 days in a row. And Kay said, absolutely not. Matt said, dream on.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
21 consecutive days is a heavy load to lift, but we do pretty decent.
No, we do good.
It's a heavy
I don't
load
trip.
to lift.
I don't trip about the amount of sex I have. I don't trip about the amount of sex I have. That's never been an issue for us.
Right.
We're pretty consistent. You know, if we normally go 4 to 5 times a week,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is actually more than 21 days if you being consistent, because there's some days where we be really excited to see each other. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So the time isn't it.
45 times a week is, like 20
Yeah.
days.
About 20 days.
Okay.
Our issue is never really like times. It's like how we get there.
Right.
You know, because for us, it's like you be going all day. You got 4 kids. It's now 12:30. We both nodding off, and then it's just like trying to fuck. Like that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's not how. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to, you know.
Sometimes you want a little razzle dazzle. You want a little spontaneity.
Yeah.
You want a little, you know. So that's my aim, is to usually try to switch it up. But
Yeah. You know what else is funny? This is my op on this. I sent you a video of this lady. This lady was talking about how like women have to understand if you're married, right? Sex is not always going to be pleasing for you. Like sex doesn't always have to be the most greatest sex, mind-blowing sex, or be in the mood all the time.
mm-hmm.
And she was saying because, you know, when your husband has things to do every single day, he don't get a chance to say, I'm not in the mood to be protective. I'm not in the mood to pay the bills. I'm not in the mood. So she was like, I think a lot more women need to understand that your mood doesn't dictate everyone else's life. And of course, women was killing her in the comments, right? And
She likened that video to food. That's what I remember the video.
You seen the video,
Yeah.
right? And
She's like, women don't want to always eat lunch. They got to feel like they're in the mood to want to eat lunch or something.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, that's the biggest like disparity between men and women is sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's like men don't have to be in the mood to have sex. It's something that they need. Like they can be sick and almost dead.
I've
and
been
still
there.
need. Yes, you've been there with
Do you
me.
remember that time
You
with the
have been there
apartment?
with me,
Y'all,
yes.
the Val's fever, when I checked it, was like 102.8.
I needed sex.
Like he's never really ever had a fever. So I was like thinking to myself, yeah, I got a break tonight. Baby, the way he rolled over with his hot ass body onto me.
Just sit on it, baby.
trying to give you this warm wood, baby.
That's hilarious.
But did my fever come down afterwards?
I could not believe you were fine the
Released
next
all the
day.
heat.
But
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I released
and
the
it's like
heat.
make me sick in the process, I'm
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
Nah, I just I'm gonna be honest though. There's not many things that get me out of the mood to have sex. You know, like that's why men can't understand. Sometimes we be like, "You're not in the mood. How?"
No,
You know, like for us, we just like, "What are you talking about?"
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
Mm-mm.
I get it though. I do. After being married this long and being with your wife, understanding your hormones and how it works, I could understand how a woman wouldn't want to be in the mood. But the funny thing is, you have to learn that to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I also feel like men don't really know how to articulate their need for connection. And I think sex is the ultimate way to connect with your partner. So I can think you're not a pervert because you're married and you want to have sex with your wife, which to me, it spells out that you have this need for connection with your wife in a certain way.
Absolutely. I agree.
But men that just be out here fucking any and everything, I feel like they are really creating like a toxic connection with too many people in the world. I also
That's fair.
think this article, it said ejaculate. It didn't say have sex. So if
hand
you
jobs,
ain't getting it, yeah.
things like that.
Listen, I've been on record of saying that it doesn't always have to be intercourse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on record as saying that. Have I?
Yeah, no, for sometimes he does want to snuggle and
Yeah.
I
cuddle.
understand your feet hurt, but does your neck hurt?
Not, son, not even. Like
I
this
thought he was
this
going to say
is-
something else about the feet. I was going to say Josh.
No.
We've learned way too much about Josh
I need a new seat.
during this podcast.
I know that is a fact. Triple. The last couple podcasts, you've been letting us sit on some stuff. We heard that you and
Come
Matt be
on.
winging it on vacation. Remember the
In
last
India.
podcast in India? And I was like, y'all be going on vacations together? He was like, forget it. I don't want to talk no more. But
Pause.
I am not against getting a happy ending massage from my wife.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Like that to me,
Yeah,
it
we've
doesn't
gotten
always
creative, for
it
sure.
doesn't always have to be intercourse, and that's another thing
Right.
that I think men and women need to learn to understand. Right? If you're a man who loves your wife and understand that her cycle has her hormones and her needs and moods up and down, right? you can't just come to her every day and be like, well, it's just about 15 minutes I need. Sometimes you got to learn to be like, listen, she's not in the mood, bro.
And conversely, as a woman, if you know this is what your man needs, it doesn't always have to be intercourse either. You can find ways to be creative to get the job done.
Facts.
If the goal is per the article, ejaculation.
I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah. So that was my op, I guess.
But that's my op too.
I
All
don't
the
really
married
have an
folk.
op. Don't argue with the research, man. It's there. It's accurate. That's what it is.
And it was from Yale, right? Yeah, it was from
It
Yale.
could have been from me,
Well,
nigga.
Harvard was one of them.
Who did they poll? I always say that these stats be coming out and nobody never asked me nothing about what I think about nothing.
That is a fact.
Why I'm never in the stats?
It's
Who y'all
Family
be
Feud
talking to?
surveys. 100 people. You're not part of the 100.
100
Yo,
randos.
I'm gonna be honest, yo, because I use stats a lot of times. When you think about the fact that there's 8 billion people in the world, and they say that this stat comes from 2,000 people, it does make you be like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Well,
sometimes
that's how
for real.
statistics work.
Yeah, that's how statistics work.
Yeah.
But sometimes it'd be like, y'all didn't even ask us, because also statistically, I want to know how many black people have they asked.
Mm-hmm.
If you do a study and you interview 2,000 people and none of those people happen to be African American, how does that relate to me?
Mm-hmm.
Because that also shows how the studies that they've done to put out things that are supposed to help people don't help us.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of those things, like for example, drinking, like eating and drinking dairy,
Mm-hmm.
it never ever worked for us as a people. But then they put out got milk ads because it was the calcium was supposed to be good for other people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we as black people also have to understand if we're going to look at research sometimes, let's look at how the research affects us, not just at the statistic or how we were incorporated in those statistics.
When do those polls and statistics happen? It's probably a cold call on the phone. You'll get a free dinner to Arby's or Outback Steakhouse. And if you spend 20 minutes on the phone with me and I'm asking you a series of questions and they're all not the same topic.
Facts.
Mm.
And we're not doing that
Yeah.
because most of us live in a space where we don't have time to sit there for 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to work at a
Answer
call
the
center,
question.
man.
So you know.
I had a job in college. I worked at a call center and it was crazy. Like all you got to do is say you want to get this free dinner but you got to be on the phone with me for 30 minutes and people just answer questions however they want to answer.
Really?
You were doing phone timeshare meetings?
Nah, man.
I'm learning a lot about you, like they said, bro.
Jamaican man had a lot of jobs.
I didn't, Mr. Headley.
I will say that, like most other diseases and cancers, black men are at more risk of developing prostate cancer and are at more risk of dying from prostate cancer, which it is absolutely not a death sentence if you detect it early. My father is a prostate cancer survivor. So black men, make sure that no matter
Facts.
what you're doing, you're getting your prostate screenings.
Facts.
I think
For
starting
sure.
at 40, because as you increase in age, your risk also increases.
That is true.
That's
Both
a
of your
fact.
grandfathers had
Yeah,
it.
both of my grandfathers had it. So
Yeah.
I think I should get sex 30 times a month to make sure that it ain't hereditary. And if you love me, Kay,
Preventative
you're going to
care.
drop it as soon as we're done with this podcast.
All right.
So
I
speaking
gotcha.
of early detection, let's move on from the balls, please. Since we're talking about Papa's stroke today, strokes are one of those things that really require early detection,
Yeah.
detecting signs early, quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and they are survivable as long as you see the signs and get to the hospital very quickly. Now, recently there was an incident in Minnesota where a Black postal worker, he was 50 years old, was pulled over. I think he had crashed into a pole. And when he got pulled over, he couldn't tell them who he was, where he was going. He didn't know his name. And they just assumed that he was under the influence. They had an officer who specializes in telling whether somebody's having a medical emergency or if they're intoxicated. And he said, it would just be a waste of time. Clearly racially profiling these men.
Mm-hmm.
They put him in a cell by himself. He's rolling around on the floor, clearly in distress for 3.5 hours
Are you kidding
before
me?
they notice that he's foaming at the mouth. He had peed his pants. Finally, they get him to a hospital. He's hemorrhaging and he dies 2 days later because he was having a stroke.
Oh my God, that is
So
heartbreaking.
his family is now suing the city of Eagan, Minnesota for $120 million. The Eagan, Minnesota Police Department is still saying a layperson couldn't tell that he was in distress, even though they had somebody who specializes in telling if someone is in distress. And they're also looking for policy changes at the department. op or no op. I thought this was a super sad story.
Oh my
Yeah, this
goodness.
is
And we were
mad
talking a
sad.
little bit
That is
yesterday
incredibly
about
sad.
white privilege and how some people think that they don't experience white privilege, but it's moments like this
Yeah.
where
Mhm.
empathy is just not extended
Right.
to Black men in particular.
Yeah.
And this man really needed the police officers who are sworn to help serve and protect. He needed their service, and they gave him punishment for
Right.
nothing.
Mm.
Right.
So I hope his family bankrupts the city.
Absolutely.
I got an op on this, and this is part of my op. A story was just released about the Department of Homeland Security releasing AI-generated video of young Black men saying that ICE, we're ready for you. We're putting a 50,000 bounty on your head. Did you see that?
No.
Mm-mm.
Yes, Joy Reid posted about it. And I think the families are looking to sue because now those young kids are getting death threats. Someone pulled up the old video, it was an old TikTok video where the kids were talking about Iran and saying that they're not afraid and they want all the smoke. They changed the words, they changed the mouth, they changed the music and made it seem as if these kids were talking about ICE. And what that does is that allows the military to bring in lethal force
Mm-hmm.
to those communities. And the reason
Wow.
why I brought that up is, like you said, Black people in general, because it's not just Black men. There was a Black woman who was having a stroke and her family was driving her to the hospital. They were speeding. The cops pulled them over. The young lady who was driving put her hands out the window and said, please, please, my mom is having a stroke. And they drew guns on this whole family, made them get out the car. And what it's showing me is that when you continue to use social media, use these devices to show us as less than human, it's easier for a police officer or someone who doesn't have consistent interactions with people who look like us to think that we are the things that they see on these
Mhm.
devices.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's my op is that it's like these devices are very dangerous because with AI now you can put things out and if no one knows the difference,
Right.
now you've created a target for a group of people or a person
It's actually
that can
really
lead to
scary.
someone's death.
Even
Yeah.
if that man was intoxicated, the level of intoxication that you would have to be at in order to not know your own name, that still requires medical attention.
Absolutely.
Right.
No
Right.
matter who you are.
Because it
But-
could be alcohol
Poisoning.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that shows you it had nothing to do with the fact that whether they cared he was
Right.
intoxicated or
Right.
not.
Exactly.
They didn't see him as human.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And since they didn't see him as human, they treated him like cattle. They put him in the back of the van, I believe, put him in a cell, and he sat there for 3 hours. Like that's the bottom line is this is parts of the judicial system, the criminal justice system that most people don't ever get a chance to see.
Mhm.
And then when we try to point it out, they say that we're rage baiting.
Mm-hmm.
And we're saying like, no, these instances happens
They actually
more
happen.
often to us than it happened to everyone else. This is why we're upset about it.
No,
Yeah.
of course. That
No.
struck home for me too because my dad actually had a mini stroke 4 years ago
Mm-hmm.
and had the mini stroke while driving.
Mm.
He was getting home because he didn't feel well, and he went to make a U-turn, and he ended up crashing into 2 parked cars.
Mm.
So imagine
Yeah.
it's a scenario like that, and cops come and give my father the same ill treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really, really unfortunate.
That
Yeah.
was a stroke.
I'm sorry to hear about that. It was a stroke 4 years ago. It was
Yeah.
a mini stroke, but a stroke nonetheless. Yeah.
He was making a U-turn and his foot couldn't come off of the gas.
Yeah, I remember.
And then he, same thing like
Yeah.
going up the stairs.
The
He couldn't come up.
numbness.
And then the gas kept going. He T-boned a parked car. So it was it's rough, but that
Wow.
really got me
I hope
sad,
they
bro. Like
drag the
that
city.
Oh yeah.
Drag him.
I hope they drag him too, yeah. And not for nothing. I remember growing up during Stop and Frisk. You all grew up during Stop and Frisk too. It seems like now because of the heightened sensitivity towards racism, but also all of this push of division
Mhm.
is giving people a license to be more racist than they've ever been. Like
Right.
it's
Yeah, for
crazy.
sure.
It is. It is.
It is
It
crazy to
absolutely
watch.
is.
And everybody, please be careful. If you out there, be careful. We're not
Yeah.
trying to sensationalize no division, but just keep your head on the swivel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's wild out here.
All right. So let's segue, I guess, and talk about story time
Yes.
and about how we detected dad having a stroke and everything that we had to do to jump into action. DeVal and I were actually not even supposed to be in town that week. Remember, that was the week we were potentially going to Greece.
Yeah.
And DeVal, a couple weeks before that, was kind of like, hey, I just feel like we need some time at home. I'm kind of travel fatigued from the year. We had a lot going on since the year started. So he was like, how do you feel about this trip. We must postpone it because we had our 15-year wedding anniversary. Weren't able to do anything because the boys had their track meet in Florida. So I was kind of disappointed at first, but I was like, you know what? If you don't really feel like going, it's not a big deal. Greece ain't going nowhere. We can go at any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to do the podcast instead to kind of knock some episodes out so we can, have some time during the holidays. And then to be home, my mom away all day at a tennis tournament. I was just thinking after everything happened about what if no one was here?
Right.
What if dad was home by himself?
Right.
And we've joked about getting mom and dad a house because we're ready for our space back and whatnot. We were actually in the middle of looking for houses for mom and dad. And that same week, it was like on a Tuesday, they found a house that they loved, not too far from us. I went to look at it on the Wednesday. That Thursday morning, DeVal was supposed to go take a look at it because he wasn't able to go with me on Wednesday. And dad had the stroke that Thursday morning. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, maybe this is God's way of saying, like, it's not time. Maybe we need to push pause on the whole house thing. It's just, I'm at a point in life now where I'm just like, if it doesn't work out, if the answer is no, if things don't align, I no longer really question it. I don't push it. I don't try to maneuver things. I really just say to myself, there's something better. God knows best.
Right.
And I let it rock. So on this particular day when, the team was here, Josh noticed something upstairs with dad. Matt noticed him going up the stairs. Krista was also here and she was upstairs sitting with dad for a little bit. I'm just like, thank God we were all here.
Right.
Because had mom been gone for the day, playing tennis and dad was home by himself. And we're traveling. The things with strokes is that time is of the essence.
Right.
Literally every minute counts. So after FaceTiming my sister and she's just like, it sounds like he's having a stroke, take him to the ER. I rush him to the ER. I don't wait for anyone. My mom was like, I'll meet you there. And I get to the ER and then me being squeamish about everything. This is the reason why I never went into healthcare because I'm just squeamish about everything. I walk through the emergency room door. This is like noon on a Thursday. There's a girl bleeding from her head.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
wow.
There's a man in the corner puking in one of those like little things. I was like, I'm not going to survive this because there's too much going on. I'm overstimulated and I don't do bodily fluids. But I let the person at the front desk let them know that my father, I think, was showing signs of a stroke. Typically in the ER, I think they go in accordance of like, the severity of
Stroke,
what's happening.
asthma, heart attack, they all go
things
first.
like that, right? So, they took him straight to the code stroke room. And when he was there, they did a couple assessments, took him in for a CAT scan, MRI, ran all the exams, and turns out that he did indeed have a stroke. So that shook us up a bit, between my brother and my sister and I, of course, mom, DeVal, the kids. The scariest part about it, we talk about driving. He had taken the kids to school that morning, and dad, we rely on him a lot to take the boys to and from their activities, to and from school. And I just thank God that he was okay taking the boys to school and made it back home safely enough that when things started to happen, he alerted my mom and, of course, us, and we were able to get him the help he needed. So,
to me, the miracle and everything is that if we didn't take Pops to the hospital after having a stroke, we wouldn't have found out that he was in heart failure.
yeah.
And we found out at that point that he had over 60% blockage.
Yeah, he has lots of blockage. His heart was only functioning at like 39%.
39%, right. So now he's in a position where, and this is why I say, like, things always happen for a reason. And this is why sometimes when I used to listen to a lot of Bruce Lee documentaries, and he talked about being like water, right? And water can crash and be a dominant force, but water can also flow. And you talked earlier about being in a position in life to flow. This is an example of being in a position in life to flow. Because when you flow with things, hey, I don't feel well, let's not go on this trip. Dad had a stroke. Oh, shoot, he's in heart failure. Now he's in a position where he can get a procedure to get the stents put in his heart that can help reverse the heart failure and give him more life. To me, that's why all of this was happening.
Yeah.
Us not finding the house that we was looking for them in that time, so they're not in the house by themselves, them having to be here for a couple extra months. All of that was for us to see what was going on with Pops internally without having x-ray vision.
Yeah.
That's God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's why I don't argue with things no more. You don't get a job, you don't get a role, you don't get the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's something else on the other side of this.
Oh, for sure.
So let me flow with it.
Yeah. And of course, like we all experience, because we're human, that brief moment of disappointment, when you get the no or something doesn't work out. But it's working through that and just knowing that there's a bigger purpose. I always say that God's protection. Redirection is God's protection. So it's typically from something else. So I'm just happy that we were able to get Dad the help that he needed, because it could have been so much worse. There are people who have had strokes where they are unable to regain function and faculty over their body.
Yeah.
You know, they may be bound to a wheelchair. They may not be able to speak.
Right.
My mom's dad, he had a stroke and then had one shortly after. So it was like a back-to-back stroke where he eventually passed away. But it was heartbreaking to see him after the first one. The extent of the stroke caused him to not be able to speak. And I could see, like, anytime that we were with him, there was the distress that he was in because he wanted so badly to speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a portion of your brain that you still know what's happening. You have that cognitive function, but you're not able to actually get the words out. And he used to try to write in order to communicate with us, or type on a computer to get the words out. And I could just see the frustration in him because he almost didn't know. It's like feeling like a stranger in your own body. You can't, regain those functions, or it takes a long time. So thankfully, y'all, for all the prayers, I want to thank everyone first and foremost for all of the outpour of love. I mean, people have been following Dad's journey since we posted about it. And I do believe in the power of positive thinking and prayer. So thank you all for reaching out, for the DMs, the messages, for people sending different recipes and different things that he should consume now that he's had the stroke that will help to get him back up and running. He's doing physical, speech, and occupational therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And since the stroke, we all have been banding together as a family to ensure that he, of course, feels supported. And we don't want him to feel like he's a burden.
No.
We genuinely do want him to regain the functions that he's accustomed to. So that's walking on his own, being able to eat on his own, which he's been successful at. He's not ready to drive yet. His physical therapist was like, "You'll be driving in no time." We were like, not quite. Let's not.
We're going to chill on that.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
You're still also 73 years old.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I'm thinking about it. Oh my goodness, his dad, maybe won't be able to drive for the foreseeable future. We have Jackson getting his permit in like a couple months, which is blowing my mind.
It's crazy.
Blowing my mind. Y'all have been around since Jackson was yay high. So it's insane how like the circle of life continues to happen, and the boys are holding him accountable. One thing I will say, being in the house together where it's multi-generational, we have everyone taking care of each other. And the boys are so invested in Papa getting better. His occupational therapist was here, for example, and told him in order to regain function over his hand, because his hand went numb after the stroke, he was having a hard time texting, writing. So she has him coloring. So I told Dakota, I said, "Listen, Papa has homework to do. So you have to make sure when you do your homework, Papa does his homework." And Dakota, like clockwork, will come home from school and be like, "Papa, you have to do your homework." And it's been great because I've been capturing those moments like on my phone, or Matt being #fly on the wall. He gets the greatest candid photos. And I think those are things that the boys will have to look back on years from now. Like, I can't wait for the house to finish undergoing renovations so we can get our gallery wall up and just show the moments that mean something. There's a story in so many of those photos that we have. So yeah, it's been great to see how everyone's banded together. Cairo's on him about drinking his water, things like that.
To me, the most important part is that we all banded together, right? Like, for me, this was a community thing. Right? We got friends and family here who noticed something, who pointed it out to us. Right? Very similar to with Dakota, when we felt like he was speech delayed. We noticed he wasn't saying certain words properly. Rather than waiting and seeing or just shunning it off and be like, "Oh, it's just nothing," let's be proactive. And a lot of times being proactive is how you prevent things from happening. Strokes, for example, it's hard to recognize, but I remember my Uncle Lee had a stroke. And he said he went to go turn the light off. And every time he went to go turn the light off, like, he went to touch the light, but he couldn't touch it. And he felt like it was right there. His depth perception was off. And then he started to slur a little bit, and they rushed him to the hospital. Uncle Lee, fully recovered now, rides his bike. But it's in those moments where you have family that you're always paying attention to each other. There should be no family member left behind. It doesn't matter how young or how old, because a lot of times in family, it's always the youngest or the oldest that get left behind.
Right.
But I implore people, man, if you have people who live with you, elderly people, or if they don't live with you, check on them daily. Like, don't let it be a day or two where you're like, "Oh, I didn't hear from so-and-so."
Right.
Because that time, or even those hours, could you imagine if Pop said, "Hey, I didn't feel good," so rather than go back upstairs, if he would have laid down in the back and went to sleep for those 3 hours, and then we're done filming.
Right.
This is why it's important, especially for elderly people too. If you don't feel like yourself, say something. Like, it ain't cool to just go, and that's not even elderly.
That's
I remember
all of us.
when you had the headache after your postpartum preeclampsia.
Yeah.
And you were the same one
My
talking
head
about
was about
something.
to explode.
I'm gonna just take a nap. And I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
Check that blood pressure. If there's anything I can tell you to get in your house, it's a blood pressure machine.
Oh, a blood pressure cuff. Yeah, it's actually right there.
Yes. But where's I'm gonna grab it so they can see.
Yeah, I'll be quick to take my blood pressure or anyone's blood pressure because that's usually an indicator of something potentially happening. So that's what saved my life with after Dakota. Yep.
Boom. This is the blood
You can
pressure
grab one
machine.
on Amazon.
It
Yep.
saved Kay and it saved Pops.
It sure did.
This is the machine right
It
here.
sure did. Yep. So yeah, the minute you feel like something is off and being accountable and knowing your people too and knowing what's regular for them, like we knew that Dad never makes a sound in this house. So
Right.
for him
It
to
was
be
eerie that morning. I came here and doom. I'm like, what is that?
right.
Who is that?
Who is
Turn
that?
around, I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, not Pop.
Right. Like there's no one else in the house. So that's really good. My mom had a heart attack at 54, 55, which is super young. And she was literally working out and the heart attack was happening while she was working
Shout
out.
out
She fell
Dolo.
off.
Yeah.
Shout out Dolo. And once
Mhm.
again, community and family recognizing
Right.
when someone doesn't look right.
And saying something.
Dolo saw moms and was like, moms, and this is a crazy story. Moms, when's the last time you ate? It's been a few days. A few days? Because she was working at the time, director of
Mhm.
nursing. She'd go
Yeah.
work, come home, sleep, tired, get up, work out.
Yep.
Then he goes, well, have you been drinking? Had a half a bottle of water this morning.
Right. And she had like a banana.
And Dolo said, you don't look good. Go home. So then she goes home, and then Tristan is there.
And Tristan always goes to work. And this
Mhm.
one particular morning, he was starting late. He slept in and he was like, I'm going in late today. Just a random day.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Ma, you don't look good. And then my father was like, oh, maybe you need to like lay down, take a nap. And Tristan's like, no, I think you need to go to the hospital. Like he knew at that point too, he had finished nursing school too. So he was kind of like sharp with his, awareness. And Tristan was like, if you don't go, I'm going to call the ambulance and it's going to be a whole scene. He literally was like that because my mom was like, no, I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
And I remember when they got to the ER, then the person in the ER, the doctor said, you should thank your son because had you gone to sleep, you would not have woken up.
Wow.
And it's like, wow.
And guys, it happens to all of us with our parents. My dad.
Yes.
My brother calls me, says 2 years ago, yo, call your pops, FaceTime him. I'm like, why? He don't look good and they not listening to me. So I call my pops. First thing I notice, his skin, he has brown skin gray. So I'm like, something ain't right. Skin hanging off his cheeks, like hanging, his neck's looking all sunken in. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I got to use the bathroom. I got to pee like every 15 minutes, but it's fine. This was on a Sunday. He says, it's okay. I got a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. I'll be fine till then. I said, let me speak to mommy. I said, Mom, what's the plan? She was just like, what do you mean, what's the plan? Dad don't look good, all right? If y'all don't take him to the hospital tomorrow, I'm flying in and I'm going to take him and it's going to be a thing. My mom took him to the hospital. Turns out his blood sugar was so high. His A1C, which is, I think, once it's 7, is diabetic, right? His A1C was something like 20, something crazy. And the doctor, once they took his sugar, I think they took him to urgent care or something. And then they was like, yo, you need to go into the hospital. And they was like, well, he has a doctor's appointment in a couple of days. They were like, no, you need to go to the hospital right now.
2 seconds away from a diabetic coma, essentially.
And they found out that he was diabetic. That's when he ended up getting a thing in his arm. But this is also for millennials who have those parents who, I know our parents was OGs. My mother and father worked multiple jobs.
Used to thugging it out.
They thugged it out. Like, we're at that age now, but we have to start telling them, like, no, sit down or let's go to the hospital. And it saved my dad's life. It saved your mom and dad.
Yeah.
My mom with her swollen foot, I be telling her, she found out she had high cholesterol. Like, we're at that point now.
Yeah.
Where we're watching our kids and our parents. And it's important for us to recognize the signs.
What do you guys think it is? Like with parents or just people in general, like just putting things off and being like, it's nothing. Is it a denial thing that you don't want to go to the doctor and potentially find out something is wrong? Or is it that you just don't want to be inconvenienced in that moment?
I think it is that fear. You don't want to go to the hospital and find out something else is wrong or something is gravely wrong. Luckily, my parents, my mom stays at the doctor and my stepmom makes my dad go to the doctor.
Good.
We had a situation with my dad where he woke up and his whole face was swollen. His lip, he looked like the Nutty
Martin.
Professor
Oh,
when
Nutty
he was
Professor.
changing back from Buddy to
Professor
Sherman.
Plump.
Yeah. and it just turned out maybe his sodium was high because he had drank some fucking baking soda for some reason. And
he swole up because of all the
he
sodium.
swole up, yeah. But even that, we had to kind of force him to go. But I do think it's the fear of, what else could it be, or finding out something else, because aging is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It is.
It really
it's
is.
scary.
It really is.
And we can't lie about the distrust between Black people and the institution that is medicine.
That is medicine.
A lot of
Absolutely.
us
That's
we
part
don't
of it.
trust hospitals. We don't trust doctors because we don't feel like they ever represent us well.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about Black women's mortality rate when it comes to giving birth. It's 5 times anyone else.
Mhm.
So it's like when you get sick, the last place you want to go to sometimes is the doctor because you feel like the doctor isn't going to have my best interest in heart.
Right.
Also, if you don't have proper insurance,
Yeah,
Right.
the bills.
like a lot of
Bills.
people lost Medicare,
Yeah.
lost Medicaid. So someone's going through a medical emergency,
Mhm.
you go to the hospital, the first thing they'll ask you is for your ID and your insurance card.
Right.
And if you don't have insurance, you end up getting sent to the corner. So a lot of people are just trying to figure it out on their own.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
we my mom's side of the family, they have like some distrust in doctors. Like I've had aunts who passed away because they didn't want to get medical treatment for cancer or whatever. And I found out why, and it's actually the craziest thing ever. I thought my grandmother died from cancer for the longest time, and my mom was like, no, actually, she went into the hospital for something unrelated. She was a smoker, and so this doctor wanted to check her for cancer. So he cut her open like an autopsy.
What?
And they ended up having to feed her through a tube because she was cut open and she choked.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So that's like they were experimenting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, my grandfather went
Bruh.
in, remember he was having gastroenteritis.
Yeah.
They went in to give him an enema and the nurse was rough and ruptured his rectum.
Oh my God.
He ended up
Yeah.
getting
And
an
it's a part of his
infection,
intestine.
ended up having surgery, ended up having to live with a colostomy bag for the rest of his life. And my father was a proud Southern man. He fought in the army. Like that was hard to watch him go through that.
Yeah.
But that's to your point. Like sometimes as a Black person, you afraid of the doctor. Like
Yeah.
especially an
Yeah.
older Black person.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like
oh,
that
yeah.
generation, your grandmother, my grandfather, they lived through that.
Mm-hmm.
They know they actually have family members who are part of the Tuskegee experiment. So for them, it's like, I don't trust them.
Absolutely.
So
not.
that's
You've
part of
been
the
through
reason
things
why.
that are way worse, and you go to the doctor who's supposed to help you get better, and they fuck you up even more.
Even more.
Yeah.
It's like
Crazy,
mm,
It
yeah.
is. It is.
let me go
hard.
boil my tea, you
Right.
know, go get some herbs out my garden and try to do it the holistic way.
And I will say this because we have a couple of friends who are doctors. One of my friends who's a doctor is leaving the medical profession to start his own practice because he said people would be surprised how many surgeons are being quoted by doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to do a certain amount of surgeries.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now they're not just looking for people to treat, they're looking for people that they can do surgeries
Yeah.
on
Yes.
to reach their quota, because if they don't reach their quota, they will no longer be working.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, that's
true.
crazy.
That is
and
crazy.
and he
So people get recommended surgeries even if they don't need it.
yes,
Exactly.
because the doctors are giving quotas for the
Mhm.
surgeries. This is not a conspiracy theorist. He's actually leaving the profession because he's like,
yeah.
I can't work for these hospitals anymore.
Yeah.
It's become just a business.
It's a business. Yeah.
You have a patient who, I don't want to say what type of surgeon he is because I don't
Yeah.
want to give away who it is, but you have a patient that can be treated with something else.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then the hospital is like, no, do the surgery.
Right.
Insurance covers the surgery.
Mhm.
The anesthesiologist gets paid because of the surgery.
Mhm.
If you have them treated by doing something else, all of those other peoples don't get paid, and the system that runs doesn't work.
Doesn't work. Yeah.
So that's why people are afraid of the doctor, if we're being honest.
Absolutely.
And
I
it's
remember
become
when-
a business.
Yeah. When I was pregnant with Jackson, the first doctor that I went to, the first OBGYN, I didn't like his bedside manner off the bat. So I was already kind of turned off after my first and second visit. But when I did a little deep dive into his background, asking a couple nurses who my mom knew through the nursing industry that worked, in the same hospital as him, one of the nurses literally said to my mom, he's a surgeon. And if you're looking for a surgeon who's going to probably guarantee her a C-section, then you can stick with him. But I'd rather you use this person instead. And I ended up switching doctors because his C-section rate was something like 78%.
It was high.
And it's just like, I understand that some people do need C-sections in
Yes.
emergency situations and there's no other option. But for someone as a doctor to be impatient and not want to wait
Yeah.
labor out a bit when the mother and baby is okay and they just quick to
Yeah.
go for a C-section after a certain number of hours is a little ridiculous. So I
agree.
understand it as well too. So yeah, that's been, I think, a lot of people's experiences. But mental health after witnessing such an episode, it's been tough for Deval and I think because we're at the phase like we spoke about before where we're parenting our children that take a lot of energy and time and focus from us. But we're also, in a sense, caring for and parenting our parents. And we've realized, he and I, over the past 2 months, that there's been a bit of a disconnect even with us. And we found ourselves bickering over like random things that have nothing to do with he and I and our marriage. It's more so all of the extenuating circumstances around it and the impact of dad, being sick and then having to juggle all the things that dad used to help us with, or, having to bring more family into town to then help us navigate things with the boys. So it's been a lot on us, I think, mentally, physically, emotionally dealing with this since, September.
For me, it's hard to watch my parents get old, watch our parents get old. Pops is my dog. Like, this, when your kids ask, like, why Pop in the hospital?
Yeah.
And you want to just be like, he fine.
Right.
But you don't know if he's going to be fine.
Right.
That's why I panicked a little bit. Matt remembers I was telling Pops, come out to the park. I'm like, yo, you gonna walk with us. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get in the sun.
I was like, I want to fix this.
Yo, I was ready, bro.
Yeah.
That's literally what I went into. I went into I gotta fix this mode. And you can't fix everything. You know what I'm saying? As a dad, you always try to fix stuff. You can't fix everything. I'm trying to fix my father-in-law.
Yeah.
When you're watching him struggle to do things that he was never fast.
Right.
Pops ain't, we talk about him floating around the house. It was like he was never running up the stairs.
No. Mm-hmm.
But then when you watching him and it's like he was about to go to the stairs, but he chose to take the elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's little things like that you know what I'm saying? It affect you. You don't realize. I didn't realize it was affecting me till just now.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, I don't want to have to tell my kids that Pop ain't here. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
That to me, when you talk about mental health, it was hard for me to sleep a couple days after that
same.
because I was like, he better come out that fucking hospital.
Right. He was in the hospital for about like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, bro.
And Deval and I would wake up exhausted because it's like I'm checking my phone throughout the night. Like you just don't want to get that phone call like, something happened to him overnight. And it was also like an eerie, like weird feeling in the house when he was in the hospital because I'm used to just, we'll leave our bedroom in the morning, right? And we'll walk towards the kitchen. And he'll always be sitting on the couch,
there.
like literally sitting on the sofa, watching the news or whatever in the mornings, or sleeping, taking a nap. And a couple mornings I walk past and he's not on the sofa. And I actually took a picture and sent it to my brother and my sister. And I'm like, this feels so weird.
It does.
Like not having dad in the house,
It made me realize too that you and I never even dealt with that. We just tried to fix everything and try to keep it moving like life was going. But I didn't even talk to you about those days after.
I don't think we even asked each other how we felt, because you're just trying to keep it together. You know
who his boy is.
Yes.
And Cairo it was hard for Cairo.
Yeah.
Because Cairo is very aware.
Yeah, he's of all four of them, he's like an adult.
Him and Dakota are the two most aware kids, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say aware, not that Jackson and Kaz don't know what's going on.
They're paying close attention.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cairo will walk down here and be quiet and just look around and see what is going on.
Right, and listen.
Jackson will walk by and be like, what up? You know what I'm saying? It's, everybody here, So Cairo was just like, well, also, he's the one that's into spirituality. He's the one that's always talking about Jesus and talking about heaven. So he was like, Dad, if Pops doesn't come out of the hospital, do you think he's going to heaven? I'm like, how you explain to your 9-year-old that? So my only thing I could say was, Pops is coming out of the hospital. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Trying to deflect.
But even in telling him that, I had to tell myself that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because for those moments where Pops typically wakes the boys up and he does these things, now me and Kay were tasked with waking up, taking them to school in the morning, picking them up.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I walked by that living room and Pops wasn't sitting in there, I was like, man, don't let me get a phone call that today's the day I got to explain to Cairo. Like, and mental health wise, like that's hard.
Yeah, and you
That's
don't even
hard.
realize the effect that it has on the kids when they leave the house.
Yeah.
All of their teachers,
Yes.
friends, parents. Cairo was like leading prayer every morning in school because they were taking that to school with them.
Yes.
And I didn't realize the burden that it had on them. You know, you think that in the house you see them day to day and they're okay, but they were carrying that weight to school with them. And thank God they're in a school that encourages them to speak how they feel,
Yeah.
encourages them to pray. So they had the entire school
Praying.
praying for Papa, which
And
was
I
also
think it
good.
worked.
It did
Yeah.
work. So
Prayer
many
worked.
Prayer
people,
worked.
they come now. Dad has been going to the football games and
Yeah.
stuff, and people come by and they're like, "Pop, we're so happy to see you. The kids
Yeah.
we've been all been praying for you." We had, someone brought over a pan of, baked ziti for
Baked
us one
ziti,
night.
yeah,
They're
it
like,
was
"We know how
nice.
hard it is." So the community that they have within their school environment is really nice to watch.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, these kids continue to blow our minds because in moments where we feel like
Yeah.
we can't even process what's happening, they show
Yeah.
us how God shows up for us by way of them, so it's
And-
really nice to see.
Shout out to all of our parents. Your mom, after her heart attack, made vast changes.
Yes.
And now she's 67, play tennis 2 times a day. She running
competitively
around,
too.
she-
She's on teams, honey. We call her Sharina.
Sharina.
Sharina Williams.
No, my dad made his changes, got his monitor, so now he doesn't eat as much sugar or drink as much sugar. My mom's starting to walk more.
Mhm.
But Pops, who never worked out a day in his life,
Never worked
every
out.
single day now, he come down here, get on the treadmill. He come up to me, I walk today. I do my little thing on my feet today. And I'm like, I see you. He's-
You that was a really good impersonation of him. That sounded
Son,
just
that's
like him.
my dog, bro.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him. 'cause
He's been
really,
on it. Yeah, I
yeah.
see him with his little OT band and his little stress ball. And
Yeah.
he's like, I feel so much better. He's like, I'm starting to feel more like myself. And that's
Yeah.
music to our ears,
Yeah.
So we're happy to see that is
Watching him
is
walk
on the
from
mend.
upstairs all the way downstairs to go outside and walk back up. And he told me,
Yeah.
I feel much better. I
Yeah.
don't gotta go to the elevator. My pops is
Mhm.
looking good.
No, he is looking good. He's still going to the park with y'all. He'll go
Yeah.
and walk.
Still walking.
And what he does now in the mornings, like when DeVal's dad came home to help us with the boys for like 2 or 3 weeks he was here, he would still get up in the morning and then ride in the passenger seat with your
Mhm.
dad. And shout out to Scoop. Like
Yeah.
my father-in-law, the same way DeVal has made it a point to take care of dad.
Yeah.
When DeVal's dad is here, like they roll tight.
They tight.
The dad was like, I want to make some rum punch. And that was good for me because I'm like, okay, that's something he
Yeah.
enjoys doing. So your dad took him to the liquor store, the grocery store to get all his ingredients, took him out for lunch for his birthday.
Yeah.
So the village has really been showing up for dad. And it's just really great to watch.
Yeah.
Really great to watch. All right. What do you think people should know about strokes after your experience? Any other points about strokes that we think people should know? I think the biggest thing with strokes, time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Like the moment you feel or see the symptoms, or
Yeah.
this is for yourself too
Yes.
as well. We probably should have looked up stats on like signs of a stroke, but I know there's like numbness or tingling that may
Yeah.
happen on one side of the body or the
Yeah.
other. Slurred speech is another one that is a very big indicator.
Equilibrium off.
Equilibrium being
When I remember when I
off.
first got my certifications, I was doing a lot of occupational therapy
Mhm.
through Parisi Speech School. They had a retirement home they had to deal with where they would come in just for movement. So these were people who were cleared already,
Mhm.
but now wanted movement.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is equilibrium off and
Yeah.
depth perception.
Right.
A lot of people noticed first that they lost balance, or when they saw something and they tried to touch it, it was either closer or further away.
Than what they thought.
And
Okay.
it was like those were some of the first signs that you feel
Mhm.
like something is off. Like I don't
Mhm.
feel like myself.
Yeah, for sure. So if you have somebody you love, make sure that you're checking out for signs of things like stroke,
Yeah.
heart attack. Heart attack is another one. Pain in the chest, tightness,
Yeah.
pain in the arm, jaw, nausea. It's good to just know these things.
Yes.
It's good to just know these things, especially as we get older and we are taking care of those who are older than us. I think we
And
owe it to them.
Don't be afraid that it's a false alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people be like, I'm not going to the doctor and it's a false alarm. You'd rather it be a false alarm than
Mhm.
it be an alarm and you still at home.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
A lot of people do that. It's like, I'm not going to go there. It's going to be embarrassing. You
Mhm.
just got indigestion and you thought it was a heart attack. So be embarrassed, but be alive.
You
Baby,
never know what
listen.
you could find out. That little thing. My dad he woke up one morning, had bad blood clots, ended up going to the hospital a month later. Not a month later, he ended up passing, but in that time span, we ended up finding out he had lung cancer.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
But it's only because the blood clots started flowing through and his arm swelled up
Oh.
was the initial reason we went to the hospital. He could have passed. He could have
Before
passed
that.
in the house, and we would have never known what was the exact reason why.
Yeah.
So
you
wait, you guys went to the hospital because of the swelling in
The
his
Because
arm
of
arm?
the
swelled up,
swelling,
yeah.
his arm was
Oh.
so big, it was like, nah, you need to go to the hospital. This is clearly a blood clot issue. And then
Wow.
at the hospital is when they did more tests to find out what's going on. That's when they found out he had lung cancer.
Similar
Stage
to
three.
Pops.
Wow, stage
Similar to
3 at that
Pops.
point.
Yeah, and then within a month, got to stage 4 and he passed.
Mm.
Lung cancer, it's like full acceleration. It doesn't slow down.
Mm,
Once it
Wow.
gets to that stage, it's too late.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I know at urgent care hate to see me coming because, baby, like you said, I'd
I
rather.
go. I beat it at urgent care 2-3 times a week. All these kids.
True.
I don't make especially, and I don't make I don't wait with the kids neither.
Yeah.
Like your eye hurt, your head hurt, ear, because
Mhm.
this is just for parents. If your child says that their head hurts in the back of their head and they're tugging at their ear, do not wait to take them. Ear infections turn into nasal infections, turn into eye infections, turn into aneurysms because of brain infections. When I took Jackson the last time to get, remember he said his eye was hurting? No, it was Cairo.
Cairo is Cairo.
And she was like, yeah, it's a minor ear infection, but it was spreading to the other side. She told me specifically a week before that, there was a young lady had a headache, right? Bad headache. Mom just refused to take her to the hospital. It was just like, she always wants to come. She always complaining something. The child ended up having an eye infection and lost the eye.
Damn.
The eye infection started from an ear infection from going swimming. This was during the summer. She was going swimming. She felt like she couldn't hear this, that. The mom says she's always complaining about something.
Mm.
Not for nothing. Some kids are sickly.
Some kids are
Yeah.
like that.
Some kids
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And the mom brought her in and they said the ear infection traveled from here all the way into, I think she had a tooth issue. But you know how infections are. Once they start
Especially
spreading,
the head. Yeah.
and the child lost the eye. And she was
Wow.
like, parents, bring them to the urgent care. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Don't.
All right, y'all. Well, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back in to do our listener letter. So stick around.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm DeVal.
And I'm Kadeen, and guess what? We wrote a book. We Over Me, the counterintuitive approach to getting everything you want out of your relationship.
That's right. This isn't your typical relationship book. This is a look at how our imperfect marriage works out perfectly for us.
For us, that's right, y'all.
So get your copy of We Over Me. and,
Yeah. Oh, book promo. Yo,
Hey.
got the book. Festival of Time.
no, wait, no. Hey,
Yes, sir. Laters.
All right, let's dive into this listener letter. Yo, what's good, Kadeen and DeVal? Tell me you're from New York. Tell me you're from New York without telling me you're from New York.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, Kadeen and DeVal? Me and my girlfriend have been together for 7 years now, and we have a 2-year-old. We are high school sweethearts, and when we met, we started as friends, and I feel like I knew a little too much about her and the things she did before me. Ooh. There's been at least 2 times where she's gotten caught texting with her ex. It wasn't easy, but I got over it. It hasn't happened since, but I feel like I sometimes hold it over her, and I can't really express enough affection as I want to because of these things. Am I too much in my head, or do I need more reassurance? Keep me anonymous. Love you guys. Podcast, been listening for some months now. Thank you so much for reaching out there, brother.
Wow.
How would you feel, baby, if you knew too much about what I did before you?
I mean, I know everything that you did before me.
Yeah.
You were never texting your exes while we were together.
No.
So that,
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't be an issue. But I mean, they seem like they're very, very young. They've been together since high school.
High school, yeah.
So
Been
they're
7
in their
years.
mid-20s maybe.
Maybe
Maybe mid-20s.
early mid, yeah.
I think he has to mature a little bit and understand that if you know everything that was happening before you, or like that was before you.
Mhm.
You got to let that go. You can't hold someone accountable for the stuff that they were doing when you weren't even in the picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that to me is just immature.
Mhm.
Her texting her exes, if y'all talked about it and discussed it and you haven't seen anything yet and you're still writing to us about it, you don't need more reassurance. You need more self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's what that
exactly
says to me.
correct.
Mhm.
That's
You
how
agree,
feel?
Tribs?
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
not, there's not much she can do to make you feel secure when she's there with you. She's not texting her ex. She's committed to you. What else do you want her
Right.
to do?
Right.
You have to believe that you're worthy of her
Facts.
love, which is, it don't sound like you are.
Yeah. I forgot where we heard it or who had said it, but they pretty much said it's not your partner's job to make you feel secure.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a
something that
fact.
you have to learn on your own.
That is a fact.
And that sounds like what's happening here. Because nobody also wants to have shit dangling over their head. Like,
No.
if you go through something, there's a miscommunication or she makes a choice to do something that you don't agree with or whatever the
Right.
case may be. If you deal with it, you talk about it, you hash it out, you squash it. No one wants that to be brought back up time and time again either.
No.
Because then that gets annoying.
You gonna
No.
keep getting on her nerves, and she really gonna text the ex.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
I just never understood the point of checking somebody's phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just never been my thing. You know
Mhm.
why? You're gonna find something
Mhm.
because you don't know, and you don't know all of these conversations.
Right.
And if you're looking for something, you can find something and make that the thing. And now you arguing about something
Mm-hmm.
that may not even be a thing,
Right.
and that's all based on what you've created in your mind.
And you caught her texting that. So I'm wondering what the nature of the text was. Was it something that you felt like was potentially incriminating? Were they reminiscing about the love they had? Like
They've been together since
What
high
was
school.
it?
I feel like what could you possibly reminisce
That's
with
what I was
somebody
gonna
who
say.
you dated
young
before
boy.
high
Remember
school?
gym
about?
class?
Yeah, like
right.
what the hell?
And I'm thinking about my high school romances. I'm like, I thought I was so in
So
love.
you was thinking about your high school romances? Don't get killed in here.
Where is you so stupid?
Check her phone.
You know, check my phone.
Matter of fact, nah.
You know what? Hand it over. Here it is. Here it is.
You know what? This is what I honestly feel, right? People have rules. What's cheating? What's not cheating? What's this? What's that? I honestly feel like in order to be in a healthy relationship, you have to be secure with yourself first. Whatever the person's rules are, because everyone's going to say this rule counts, this rule don't count. If you're not secure with yourself, you can't exist in any relationship no matter what the rules are. Because you're always going to find a reason to think the other person is doing something outside of what you would do. That's what insecurities are.
But do you think the rules are specific to the relationship that you're in?
Yes.
Like you
Yeah,
have to
their
create your
agreements,
own.
I'd
Yes,
rather
their
than
Okay.
agreements.
So your own
agreement.
boundaries, agreements within that relationship, and
Yeah.
it can change from relationship to relationship.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Like there's I guarantee you all of the rules in our relationship are not the same in Matt and Krista's or Josh and Anika's or Tribble.
True. Yeah.
Like I bet you
Tribble
everybody
and
have their own
herself.
thing. What happened?
Dribbling herself.
Tribble got
For
hoes.
now.
Don't try
Me
to.
and me,
For
G,
now.
you know what I'm saying? We
Trouble.
pretty much.
You be
We know
locked
you got
in.
hoes, Tribble. Stop. Stop. We know. But I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has their own, personal thing. Like I don't like this and I like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make everybody tailor make their relationship to what society says it's supposed to look like. But what I do know is that if you're not secure with yourself,
Right.
no matter what the rules are you and your partner create, you're gonna find issues
Mm-hmm.
because them insecurities gonna start creeping in.
Right.
Oh, she going out with? She going out with? Who's? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
That's
It
your
could
issue.
then be like a rabbit hole of just a nonstop. I'm having to chase after and check behind her. And it's like no one wants to live like that on
No.
either side.
And maybe it is because I don't think that there's anything wrong with getting reassurance from your partner, but
Mhm.
it's not reassurance that they're not cheating on you. If you got to figure out what is it that I feel insecure about that
Right.
makes me think that my partner might want to look elsewhere.
Right.
Then let me ask her, like, how do you feel about this thing about me? How do you feel that I have a 4-inch dick? Like, is that
Remember the other one?
How we get here, Tribble?
you know what I'm saying? Is that okay for you? Like, is it not satisfying? Is there something I could be doing that would make our relationship better? That's the type of reassurance you look for, not where you going, who you gonna be with, who's gonna be there, what's up with you and him. Like, no. Have your spouse or your partner reassure you that they like who you are.
That's dope.
The thing is, I agree with that, man. Because me and Kay don't spend a lot of time like, you sure you didn't do this? Like, you know how much time that would waste?
Absolutely.
If we just, for the past 23 years, you sure you didn't do this? Are you
Right.
going to do this last week? It's like, nah, man, I ain't got no time for that.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to share my life with somebody that I can trust. I guess that goes back to discernment. When you use discernment and you know you've chosen the right person,
Right.
you don't constantly need assurance. That
Right.
person has already showed you that they're the right person, so you don't
Right.
constantly need it.
No, for sure. And we had to grow through some stuff too. Like, remember,
Oh,
y'all,
yeah.
we've been together for 23 years. So when we were 18, 19, in our 20s, like, there were little moments where we had little spats and disagreements. But
Yes.
it's like, you got to talk about it and you have to make a decision and a choice to stay or keep moving, move on and get over it.
And that's how you learn and create the relationship you want. It's like, okay,
Mhm.
you don't like this. I don't like that.
Right.
You don't like when you interact with other people like that. I don't like when you interact with other people. It's like you learn
You got to
this.
learn. Yeah.
And after you learn it, and then the person says, all right, didn't know that before.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did say she used to talk to her ex, not anymore. Maybe you told her, like, I don't want you doing that. What if they were friends?
Yeah.
And so now she could, excommunicated the ex,
Right.
but you still holding on to that. You got to give someone time to adjust to, what it is that you think that you don't want in life. So
For sure.
build
All
out
right.
whatever you want with your partner.
Sounds good. Thanks for listening, though. I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast so far. All right, y'all, keep writing in if you want to be featured as a listener letter on the show. Email us at theellisadvice@gmail.com.
That's TheEllisadvice@gmail.com.
All right, rolling on into the moment of truth. Today we're talking about pop stroke and the recovery process and what that's like, caring for family members, the healthcare system. What you got for us, babe?
My biggest thing is keep your eyes on the people you love.
Yeah.
Answer the phone when they call. I got a message from my boy Trey. His mom passed last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that his mom called him and he didn't answer the phone because he was driving. He was driving a truck, didn't answer the phone. 2 days later, he said he'd call him when he get there. 2 days later, he get a phone call from his brother. His brother's like, hey, bro, you sitting down? He's like, yeah, why? He was like, mama gone. And he was like, gone where? And he was like, she gone, she passed.
Mm-hmm.
A heart attack. And he said to me, DeVal, when your mom calls, answer the phone and say, Mom, let me call you back.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because imagine your mom is calling and you can hear on the phone that she sounds a little slurred.
True.
And then you can reach out to your brother or you can, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Those little phone calls could be a cry for help or could be a moment where God is trying to send you a message.
Yeah.
And when you keep pushing those things away, you're missing the opportunities to possibly save someone in your family's life. So
Yeah.
my message is to just keep your eyes on the people you love, answer them phone calls, and keep everybody close.
Absolutely. I think mine is just spend time. Spend time. I think we always feel like time is something we have and we don't. And unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people, once they get really old or if you lost a loved one, the biggest thing people say is, I wish I had more time.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. My brow tech, she was in town. She travels and she was in town and she didn't know what had happened with my dad. And she came to do my brows here at the house and we were chatting, as friends. And my dad walked into the room and she looked at him and she said hi to him. And then he walked away and she was like, make sure you spend time with him. And that hit me like a ton of bricks because I'm like, girl, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
Wow.
And she's like, spend time with him. He's emotionally going through a lot that he's not expressing to you guys.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, girl, what do you know that I don't know, Right. But she's always kind of spoken life into me in different ways. And I appreciate that about her. And that really made me think and stop for a second and just think, am I really spending quality time with my dad here? Or am I just, content with the fact that he's existing in the house?
A lot of times that happens. They live with us and then you walk by them. You don't really see them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dad is there.
Right.
Dad is there.
Right.
Someone coming in can see from a different perspective.
Right.
Something you're not seeing because you're so used to being there. So I see what she's saying.
Yep. So whatever message, she said, God just put that on my heart to tell you that. And I was like sobbing at that point. But that just put me on alert. My dad's getting older, family members get older, and we should really be trying to love on each other while we can. So that's my moment of truth. Love on the people you love while they're here.
And the theme of this episode, if you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pay attention, I guess. Definitely pay attention. Answer the phone for sure. Just to have eyes and ears on the people you love that are getting older. And know all you can about health, wellness.
Yeah.
What are the
signs
signs?
and symptoms?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had to add anything, which I feel you guys are spot on, I was trying to remember this song by J. Cole called Love Yours.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see something, say something, like Matt said, would probably be my takeaway from this episode.
Dope. All right, y'all. Well, be sure to follow us. Find us on Patreon if you have not yet. And subscribe to the party over there because we have the after show, which we typically film after every episode, where you get some more exclusive Ellis Ever After content. You can also get more Ellis family content on Patreon. So shout out to our Patreon gang. And thank you for following us on social media. If you have not yet, hit the button to follow Ellis Ever After on socials. I'm Kadeen I Am.
And I am DeVal.
I'm _Matt.Ellis.
And I'm Joshua _Dwayne.
I'm Tribs the Cool, TRIBBZ, the cool on everything.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
And download, baby.
That ass.
The Bible. It ain't
That's
so
the
good
book
to
for
me.
me. Stand alone on the word of God.
Cut.
The Bible.
Ellis Ever After is an iHeartMedia podcast. It's hosted by Kadeen and Deval Ellis. It's produced by Tribble. Video production by Joshua Duane and Matthew Ellis. Video editing by LaShawn Rowe.